Hey guys, Preacher 357 here, coming to you again here from the range with a Ruger Super Blackhawk in 44 Magnum, one of my favorite cartridges. But what isn't one of my favorite cartridges? Pretty much like them all, right? But 44 is one I really like. 357 is probably my favorite. 44 is pretty close to second. And of course, it's just like with the 357, you can shoot 38 special with a 357, you can shoot 44 special with a 44 Magnum, which gives you a little bit, a bit of variety in power levels, what you can shoot, because the 44 special in one of these big revolvers is very pleasant to shoot, very easy shooting gun. And the 44 special has a reputation for being extremely accurate. And I don't know if it's actually true, that it's more accurate somehow or another, or if it's just the fact that it's so easy to shoot that you don't flinch when you shoot it, right? And maybe that's part of it. The guns usually are really heavy, and that round doesn't kick too bad, so in the large revolvers, they're just easy to shoot, and you don't flinch. But anyway, I've got this gun here, but before we start shooting, notice that I've got on my Gun Owners of America GOA hat here. And if you'll look in the description of the video, you'll find a link there for a discounted membership to the GOA. The Gun Owners of America were kind enough, gracious enough to provide that link for that discounted membership. I'm not getting any kickbacks from that. This is just something that I'm putting on there solely because I support the GOA. I'm a life member, and I believe in what they're doing. And so I'm putting that link up as an aid to anybody out there that wants to help out to get that discounted membership and you know, raise more awareness for the GOA. Because, you know, as I stated in the previous video, the GOA is what the NRA should have been, but they're not. Everyone always wants to say that the NRA is the big dog and that we have to support the big dog, but the problem is it doesn't matter how big the dog is if there's no fight in the dog. If all the dog's going to do is sit there and chew on its bone, then it's of no value, right? It doesn't matter how big the dog is. And so it's really time for a new big dog. And the only way we're going to make the GOA the big dog is for more people to join up. And it's pretty sizable already. You know, the GOA is a sizable organization with a lot of ability now to defend our rights. But the more people that join up, the more effective they're going to be. You know, the more they're going to be able to lobby, especially if we get involved. You know, joining up and giving them money is great, but volunteering and getting out there and calling your representatives and making it known that you're a GOA member and that you're supporting what they support and that you're for our rights and that you expect our elected representatives to support our rights and protect our rights, because that's what they're there for, to protect our Constitution, right? That's what they're elected to do, is to protect our rights. That's why the government is there, not to rule us, but to make sure that we're free. And so I urge you to, if you're not a member, join the GOA, donate to the GOA, and give your time as well. And if you live in Tennessee, the Tennessee Firearms Association as well. I strongly recommend any Tennessean to join up and be part of the TFA as well. John Harris, Richard Archie, those guys have donated a lot of time and put a lot of effort into the fight for many years now. And we're only where we are in Tennessee right now because of the efforts of the TFA as well as the GOA. And the TFA has put in a lot of work, and they need our help. They need our money, our donations, our support. And they need volunteers. They need people to help out because, you know, those guys can't do it all themselves. So I'll have a link for the TFA as well in the description, so you can join the GOA at the discounted link, or there'll be a link also for the TFA if you're a Tennessee resident, that you can join up with the TFA as well. All right now, guys. Ruger Blackhawk. This gun was released in originally 1956. Now this one was built in the early 1990s. I think it's it's either a 92 or a 93, I believe. I don't remember. I'd have to check the serial number again. But I know it's early 90s. But The original Super Blackhawks were released in 1956, right after the 44 Magnum cartridge was first created and released as well. Remington had a deal with Smith & Wesson, and this all had to do with Elmer Keith as well, in developing this cartridge, that they were going to market this cartridge with a new gun, and Smith & Wesson was coming out with the Model 29. And apparently, from what I've read, Ruger got wind that that was happening. And somehow or another, they got a hold of the cartridge, and there's different stories. I don't know exactly how that happened, but they managed to get a hold of the cartridge and begin developing this gun before the 29 was even released. And so it wasn't long after the Model 29 hit the market that Ruger came out with their own 44 Magnum in the Super Blackhawk. Now, obviously, this is different than the Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum, in that the Smith & Wesson is a double-action revolver with a swing-out cylinder. Right? It's a hand ejector model. This, on the other hand, is a single action. Ruger was making single action revolvers, trying to capitalize, I guess you could say, on the cowboy craze that was occurring in the 50s. And they had really came out and started doing that, producing those type of single action revolvers. So when they decided to come out with a 44 Magnum, they had to beef it up some, right? And so we have the Super Blackhawk here. It's super, it's bigger, it's more powerful, right? And it's still a single action revolver, it's just bigger. And it's a very, very sturdy design. Of all the 44 Magnum guns out there, this one might actually be the strongest of all of them. You know, the Super Red Hawk is pretty strong as well. It's pretty beefy, pretty big. But just the way the single action revolver here is designed, and it's extremely, extremely solid and able to take a lot of punishment. And so, you know, this is a gun that will shoot a lot of loads that you probably wouldn't want to put through a Model 29 Smith & Wesson, or at least you wouldn't want to put a lot of those rounds through it. You know, the Model 29 Smith & Wesson's strong. I mean, it's able to handle any factory 44 Magnum. Problem you get is when you start putting tons and tons and tons of that hot factory or hot 44 Magnum ammo through it, you can get some frame stretching. Well, you're not going to get that with this because of the way it's designed. And we looked at the GP100 as well, and we had a video on the Security 6 that showed how the Ruger designs on those guns was different than the Smith & Wesson, so that you didn't get that problem with the side plate and the frame stretching. But it's the same is true with the Super Blackhawk as well. It's a very solid gun. And so I have the Super Blackhawk here with the Hogue grip on it. I'm sure this probably came with a wood grip, but there is a flat trigger guard right here on the back that absolutely wears your hand out when you shoot those hot Magnums. And I'm sure the person that owned it before me didn't like it very much, and so they put this Hogue on there, and I've seen no reason to take it off. My cousin actually had one with the wood on it, and this is better. I like the Hogue on this gun. To me, a Super Blackhawk is not a gun that you look at for its beauty. It's form, it's function over form, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so I like having the Hogue on this. It really makes it a lot more fun to shoot for me. You know, on my 357 Blackhawk, I've got wood on it. Works fine for that. But you know, for this big gun here, for this powerful cartridge, I like this Hogue. And so I'm planning on keeping that on there. So let's do a little bit of shooting now. I think I've talked enough. I know I get a lot of flack for talking too much, from friends and enemies alike, right? That must mean something when even the people that like you tell you talk too much. Doesn't ever seem to stop me, but, you know, I can't help it. I'm a preacher. That's what we do. So I've got 3 different levels of ammo here as well. I have got 44 Special. These are all hand loads here. This is a 240 grain semi-wad cutter and a 44 Special. This is a 44 Magnum, same projectile, 240 grain semi-wad cutter. This is my moderate Magnum. This is a Magnum cartridge, but I load it with HP 38, which is the same powder I've loaded my 44 Special with here. So this is a moderate Magnum. Just to give you an idea here, I've got the 44 Special here loaded with 5.1 grains of HP 38. This moderate Magnum here is loaded with 8.5 grains of HP 38. So you can see there's a lot more powder in the 44 Magnum. And then I've got these right here, which are a 240 grain XTP, a Hornady XTP round. And this is loaded with W296, Winchester 296, which is the same thing as H110 now. Hodgdon makes both, so they're the same powder. And I think I've loaded this one with 23.4, so it's not just absolutely at the very top, but it's not a light Magnum, we'll put it that way. It'll get the job done. So I've got 3 different levels of ammunition here, and that's one thing I like about the 44 Magnum. And you can do the same thing with the 357, as I said, that you can get those different levels of power that you can shoot. And that's how I like to do it. So I just have a little bit of variety. You know, to be perfectly honest, if you shoot just the barn burners all the time, it wears you out. And if you like to stay out on the range as much as I do and shoot for as long as I do, you don't want to get wore out after 50 rounds, right? You want to shoot a little bit more than that. So I like to mix it up a little bit. But we'll start out with the moderate Magnums here. And we'll shoot just a few of these out here on the range. And see if I can hit anything with it. I hadn't shot this one in a while. So let's just see what we can do here. All right, let's shoot a little bit. All right, let's see if I can hit anything. Let's see if I can. No, where am I going? I think that's a little low, so I got to hold a little higher. There we go. I have to find out where the sights were. I said it's been a while since I shot it. Yeah. A little flinch there, wasn't it? So we'll just empty this rascal out here. Well, if I can get it lined up first. That's one thing about the Rugers. It's a little different than the Colts, is that you don't have to half cock it in order to unload and load. You just pull the cylinder. I'm sorry, you just pull the loading hatch down there, the loading, whatever that's called, you just pull it down. And then it causes the cylinder to spin freely. All right, let's shoot a little bit more. I'm gonna try a few more of these moderate Magnums here. See if I can do a little bit better. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Take a little bit of a wallop. Yeah. Yeah, that may be it. Yep. So the little plate is foiling me again. There is no end to the frustration that I feel at that little plate. So we'll move on to something a little bit, I've got a feeling I've probably got this sighted in more for the 44 Special. Because being the big wimp that I am, I don't like to shoot a lot of that hot stuff. You know, because I'm not much of a man. I'm just a little weenie. So I like to shoot a lot of the weak stuff instead. All right, let's see if I can hit that little plate with it. There you go. If you just saw what I tried to do, I've been shooting so much double action revolver, I tried to just pull the trigger again without cocking it. Well, I don't miss that cowboy. Of course, he wants to turn on me. I've got to get that fixed. But yeah, I think it's a little bit more accurate with the 44 Special because I think it's sighted in for the 44 Special. Because I do shoot more of the Specials usually than I do the Magnums. I know. Not much of a man. What can I say? What can I say? I'm not as young as I used to be. Put it that way. When I first was shooting, you know, I wanted it as hot as I could get it. When I reloaded, I wanted it absolutely at the top of the line all the time. I wanted to red line everything. The more recoil, the better. And then I got old. And, you know, it just changes. Your way of thinking changes as you get older, I guess. And I don't always have to punish myself to enjoy it, right? I'm not quite as into the pain as I used to be, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna go out there and see if I can hit this plate out here at 80 yards. If I can figure out where to hold. You can see that has a lot more kick to it. Alright. I think I hit it, but I don't know if I may have skipped it in there, I don't know. Right there beside it. Well, I bounced that one in too. I think you can see how much more kick that has compared to the moderate Magnum there. But it don't hurt to shoot, especially with these Hogue monogrip. You know, this big Hogue really tames that recoil. So I mean, it kicks back at you quite hard, but it doesn't hurt your hand. It's kind of like that 460 I got. You know, that thing is a beast, but it doesn't hurt you at all because it's so heavy. It's got that great big grip on it. So as impressive as it is, you know, it don't hurt you. Let's shoot some more moderate Magnums here. See if I can hit anything with them. Well, that was just me not lining the sights up right. Sometimes you know they're not on and you still pull the trigger. Just, I don't know why. I really don't. Well, can't quite get the range on it there. So I think what I need to do is shoot at it with the 44 Special. Because even though 44 Special is kind of a weak round comparatively, I mean, it's not weak. I mean, it's about like a 45 ACP, you know. It may be just a slight bit less powerful than the 45, but comparable. But it's a low velocity cartridge. It's a big heavy bullet that doesn't go that fast. But you know, out of this big 8 and 3/8 inch barrel here, I believe that's what it is. You know, you get a little bit more velocity, so it can reach out a little bit better than, you know, a snub nose can. I don't think I have to hold over too much. See if I can get it. And there it is. But like I said, I think I've got it sighted in for the 44 Special, and so I'm having to adjust my hold when I shoot the Magnums to try to get the right elevation. So the gun is accurate. I'm not always accurate. I may not be accurate very much even. But this gun is accurate. All right, I've got to shoot the hot stuff one more time. I actually just loaded this up a couple of weeks ago. It's the first time I've actually had a chance to bring this load out to the range. And it feels pretty good. Got a little bit of oomph to it. I'll go out there to the plate at 80 yards one more time with it. And I hit it. There we go. I just wasn't holding up enough, I guess, the last time. Let's hit some of these plates right here with it. That one didn't like it very much. What'd you say, the flash? Impressive. Well, I gotta hold up. End up breaking my target stand. Oh, that's just too much fun. That is just absolutely too much fun. But I guess I'll let you guys go. I think I probably not only said enough, but probably said too much. And I think you can see how much enjoyment I'm getting out of this gun here. The 44 Magnum is a wonderful round. Wonderful round. And the 44 Special is one of my favorites. You know, right behind the 38 Special, the 44 Special is just a favorite of mine to shoot for plinking. You know, it's kind of like a 22, right? You can come out here and just shoot 22 all afternoon, and it's so much fun. And it's sort of the same way with the 38 Special and the 44 Special. It's just a lot of fun just to come out here and plink with. And just have a good time, right? So guys, I appreciate you coming out. God bless you. You take care of yourselves. Don't forget, go to the description. Got a discounted link for the GOA. If you're from Tennessee, got a link there for the TFA as well. Join up, get in the fight, help us out. Appreciate it. Y'all take care. We'll see you next time.